Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm sitting outside and the last few days have really started to feel like spring. I'm always really excited for spring, but this winter has been, objectively, it's been the harshest winter since we moved here. Lots of snow and ice, which the good side of that is that the pond has been frozen, which has been kind of fun to do, like my willow projects you will have seen in my video. I'm going to do a couple of things that I've been wanting to do that feel kind of springy and fresh. And the first experiment I want to try is starting poppy seeds in ice cubes. I half filled these with water. That's why they're sort of reflecting. I don't know anything about this. I just saw it online and it could be kind of a gimmicky thing. I really have no idea. These are not Icelandic poppies, and I don't know if I was supposed to get Icelandic poppies. I don't think the video I saw said that. These are Shirley Double. I don't know. I bought them at a nearby store, but I've never grown poppies. I think they're beautiful flowers, and my future sister-in-law is named Poppy, so gotta love poppies. And then I'm making this a little bit more fun for myself because why not? A little more magical. So I'm going to be writing some kind of intentions for the season on some bay leaves and then hole punching them to make a kind of confetti that I'm going to put in the ice cubes, just so that the poppy seeds are a little extra charged. So I wrote my little intentions. I did accidentally start hole punching before I realized this hole punch has like a little collection contraption, so that's kind of complicating my plan here. People say that New Year's should really be in the spring, and I'm a big like year documenter. I like to come up with goals, and I have an extensive planner operation. I like to write everything out and save it and reread it, but it is hard to know what the year is going to be like in the dead of winter, so I do understand that argument. That's what they look like. So as you probably know, poppy seeds are quite tiny, which is also why I think this is an interesting method, because it means that I'll be equally sort of dispersing the seeds, but just like on your poppy seed bagel, they're very, very, very tiny. They're even tinier than I was thinking, to be honest. And I had planned to just put like 2 in each cube, but that's impossible. This is like so many more seeds than I was thinking, actually, because I was planning to only do like a few per cube. Okay, that's good. So these are my little cubes, little magical poppy cubes, and I'm gonna fill them up with water to the top, let them freeze, and then kind of pop them in around the garden. Then I'm gonna start some sprouts. I used to be really on my sprouting game probably a couple summers ago, and then I've just fallen off of it, but it's really easy to have fresh sprouts. It feels green and springy to me, so that's what I'll be showing you next. It is time to start some sprouts, and I'm showing you what I have found to be the absolute easiest way to start some of your homegrown sprouts. I've gotten the microgreen trays, I've grown lettuces, but this sprouting in a jar is really the easiest way to get started. I am doing this in my Airstream greenhouse because we're getting a little bit of rain, and It's easier to film in here than in the house sometimes. All you really need are some wide mouth mason jars, and I got these sprouting lids from a local like health food store, but you could definitely order them online as well. I have here a bigger mesh size for bigger seeds, and then I have a smaller mesh size, or I guess a finer mesh for smaller sprouts. And you will need some kind of tray because the jars need to be inverted after the seeds have soaked. But I'll take you from the very beginning, and these are my favorite, are speckled peas. We are doing 1/4 cup of seed. And those are our speckled peas. I got these from Mum's Sprouting Seeds. So the first step is to soak them. For 6 to 12 hours. I kind of put a lot of water in there, actually. So that's it for the peas. And then I'm going to be doing some red radish sprouts, again, Mum's Seeding Sprouts. And for these, I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of seeds into the smaller jar. That's the end of this packet, but I did get several uses out of this. And these soak for 4 to 8 hours. I'm probably going to give them both like 6 to 7 to soak just like that. So I will see you in 6 to 7 hours after these have soaked. I really hope I'm not sitting in dog poop right now. This is my front garden. It looks terrible, and this is where the dog likes to go to the bathroom, especially during the winter when he doesn't want to go far. And I can't blame him. I didn't cut back the Nepeta. I didn't cut back my geraniums, so it's really like an overgrown mess right now. And I don't really want to like start hacking things back, but I'm just going to pop some of these poppy cubes in this area, sort of along the front of the garden bed. This is what they're looking like. I am honestly quite concerned that they're not the right kinds of poppies to be planting at this time of year. But this is what the cubes look like, and the seeds are in there somewhere. So this is purely an experiment, and it's also sort of the new moon time. So it may just end up being the intention setting for the season if the seeds do not produce anything, but I do think they're really cute as a concept. I don't even know if you can see anything in there. And I'm not planting them deep, just sort of barely in there. It's been a couple days actually, but you really haven't missed anything because I'm going to show you exactly what I've been doing ever since I drained them. And maybe you can see that they have begun sprouting. Let's see, have these started? These are a little bit of a longer timeline. Actually, they have, but I'm not really sure if you're going to be able to see them. But essentially, all you have to do is twice a day, just like brushing your teeth, you got to give them a little rinse. So you give them a little rinse, you give them a little shake, a little swirl, and then you dump out all the water, and you give them a good shake. And you get water everywhere. That's part of it. But you really want them to be shaken out and then inverted into the tray because, you know, there will be some residual moisture. I think that ideally, actually, they're supposed to be at like an angle, but I just stick them straight, upside down. And in 3 to 5 days, I will have fresh sprouts, and I'll show you when I have those. So today I am taking down the greenhouse. It's been really terrorized by all of the wind. And the door finally came off of it. So I need to take it down, and the wind is picking up again immediately. So this may be just a montage of me throwing this in the back of the truck to take to the dump. And then spring can really get started because, breaking news, I have ordered chickens. I don't know if I should be telling you this because I literally just did it, but the spot where the greenhouse is currently is where we are thinking of building a small coop. It's kind of temporary because we don't know the full layout of... We've never had chickens before, so if you have any chicken tips, please let me know. But I'm really excited to get that thing out of there, clear that area, and oh my gosh, he loves the truck so much because he gets to be passenger privileges. Anyways, so I'm very excited to tear down the greenhouse, so let's get going. I had slight creative redirection with the greenhouse demo because I took all the plastic and the rotted exterior framing pieces off, and then the plan was to chop up the frame and bring it to the dump, but I just kind of saw potential in the frame. I don't have that much room in the Airstream here to really do potting shed projects. I really like filming in here. It's just nice to have a dedicated space, and so I want to kind of spruce up the background and be able to film in here away from like the wind and the elements. But I couldn't really justify throwing away the greenhouse because I really do think that I need that space. So I didn't get this on camera because these types of redirections can involve some negotiation. Actually, Brett had a great idea for where to put it, much better than my idea. So it is currently in a new spot, and it does need some TLC, but I really do think it's going to be worth it. So let me go show you. I'm standing in front of my garden beds, which you've seen many times before, and this is the new greenhouse location. We put it on top of our old septic tank, which is actually going to be really perfect. So it's going to be really conveniently located for me to work out of. So more to come on that. As for the sprout update, my jars have successfully sprouted. I don't know how well you can see in the jar. I actually have not had any of them, so this is kind of a taste test. I mean, I've had these before, but yummy. These are the radish ones, and they have a little bit of that like bitter kind of arugula flavor. Now, I will say for the pea sprouts, using this large mesh lid is not my favorite because it's kind of harsh on them. I found that through shaking them like vigorously, because you really don't want there to be like excess moisture. A lot of the actual sprouts broke off. For instance, here's a little guy and his sprout got broken off. Like a lot of them, you kind of lose the little sprout. This one's intact. I can tell that this sprouted because it's cracked open, but you don't get the little sprout. But these are so good. These are more like bean sprouts that you'd get at a Thai restaurant or something. Definitely not bitter. Just a bit more kind of green and crunchy as a flavor. So this is one of the things I wanted to do for spring, and it's been really fun and a fun process to document. So I think those are all the things that I wanted to show you in this video. There's still progress to be made on the greenhouse, and I'm really excited to get into more garden projects as the weather warms up. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.